How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And as always, here at 2A News Now, you get your Second Amendment news straightforward and to the point with no BS added in. Credit card companies in California are moving forward with using category codes to track the purchases of guns and ammunition. When credit card companies started talking about using tracking codes to keep up with customers' purchases at gun stores, to say the least, a lot of people were less than thrilled. A number of states started looking at banning the practice entirely, while others welcomed it. But the companies seemingly backed off on it because they received so much backlash. They knew they had kicked over a hornet's nest, and they wanted no part of it, except it seems that they're still going through with it, just on a limited scale. Major credit card companies are moving to make a merchant code available for firearm and ammunition retailers in order to comply with the new California law that will allow banks to potentially track suspicious gun purchases and ammunition purchases and report them to law enforcement. Retailers are assigned merchant codes based on the types of goods they sell, and the codes allow banks and credit card companies to detect purchase patterns. Currently, gun shops are lumped in with other types of retailers, such as sporting goods stores. MasterCard, Visa, and American Express initially agreed to implement a standalone code for firearm sellers, but later paused their work on it after receiving blowback from Second Amendment advocates concerned tracking gun purchases would infringe on the rights of legal gun owners. Gun control activists hope the code, which was approved by an international organization in 2022, can be used as a tool to help identify suspected purchases and consequently stop gun crime, including mass shootings. Proponents say a code for firearm merchants would allow banks and credit unions to alert law enforcement of potentially suspicious purchasing patterns, in the same way they already flagged other types of transactions, such as those that suggest identity theft or terrorist financing, while a merchandise code for standalone firearm and ammunition sellers would yield data that shows a transaction was made at a gun store. The credit card companies say the code would not provide details about the customer or about insight into the individual items the customer purchased. And that's why this is nothing but a waste of time for any of the supposedly stated purposes. This was billed as a way to notice if someone was doing something shady, that mechanisms used to track various financial crimes to be brought to the gun industry, and it would supposedly shut down mass shooters. After all, proponents argued mass shooters buy guns in a way that supposedly should set off a red flag. Of course, they might buy a rifle and a handgun at the same time, but so do a lot of other people as well, making it totally useless for that, especially since it was noted you can't see who bought what. Did they buy 3 rifles or one very expensive one? Did they even buy a firearm? After all, gun stores sell accessories and ammunition as well. Many sell other forms of sporting goods, or in the case of a pawn shop, literally anything. There's literally no way this could be used to do anything but give credit card companies and the governments they're beholden to a list of people who bought something from these stores. There is absolutely zero chance it'll reduce crime or mass shootings in any way, shape, or form, but it just might make a gun confiscation a lot more easier for them. Picture this: the federal government has decided it no longer wants to honor the Second Amendment. They trample it into oblivion, and now they want to confiscate everybody's firearms. But they don't know where they're at. But they can subpoena records from these companies, and it will give them a starting point with a list of where to start looking for them. Sure, not everyone will have a gun they can take, but it beats going door to door, right? Yes, I know that's a nightmare scenario, and one there's not a lot of chance coming to pass. At least we hope not under current case law. But that's also the only real way this tracking nonsense will be useful. The only good news, this is in California, not in the rest of the United States. At least for now. If you're one of the unfortunately few looking to buy guns there, I suggest bringing cash to the store. But if you don't want Visa, MasterCard, or an American Express, flagging your purchases as suspicious and turning the information over to authorities. It's my firm belief that they want to use these merchant codes tracking guns and ammunition purchases, not to stop crime or mass shooting, is to put people on a list which will be used down the road for gun confiscation. And they say the information that is given out is just a dollar amount. But how easily could that be changed? Where you know the person's name where it was purchased, and what they purchased. It's unfortunately this is happening in California. But also, as I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of states that are against this and won't allow it. And it cannot be allowed because it infringes on a lot of our rights, including our Second Amendment right. As always, I would really like to hear your thoughts about today's video in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed today's video and you want to help the channel out and help it grow, please just take a few seconds of your time to like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. I would be very grateful if you did so. And I invite everybody back to watch my next video.